guitar players, and welcome to Best Beginner Guitar Lessons. Today, I'm going to share with you 12 tips that I wish I knew when I first became a guitar player, back when I first started. These 12 tips should help you really kickstart your guitar playing. If you've been having trouble right in the beginning, I think these tips would be a big benefit to you. So let's get right into it. The first tip I want to give you is when you're starting out, learn just 4 chords. 4 chords. You want to learn just 4 chords and learn them well, be able to change from one to the other. And they're not just any 4 chords. They're 4 what I call my magic chords. The reason I refer to them as magic chords because I show a way to make traditional chords, these 4 chords, instead of making them traditionally, I'll show you a magic way or a special way to play them that really helps you be able to play, make them sound good, be able to move from one to the other. It's going to help you with all of that. So keep that in mind. Start with 4 chords and learn them well. And you can find a video tutorial by going to my bestbeginnerguitarlessons.com website. I've got a link down below. bestbeginnerguitarlessons.com website, and you can enter your email and click the red button, and you'll have a video tutorial. It's a webinar playback. It's going to show you the 4 chords, how to make them, how to use them. So start with the 4 chords. Keep it simple, okay? The second thing, tip number 2, is when you start learning your chords, learn songs you know, and be able to play complete songs, not just parts of songs. All the way, all the verses, all the chorus. A complete song through and through. Learn them complete. Don't just take little pieces here or there of each song. Very, very important. Get to where you play a complete song. And start with open chords. Open chords. That's what you want to start with. Okay? You don't want to start with trying to learn scales and modes and all, where you learn the notes here on the neck like that, all the different notes. You want to learn open chords to begin with. And the 4 open chords is the way I recommend. I've been teaching for 40 years and I've taught thousands and thousands of students using this method. It works. It just works. So again, play songs completely through and through. Alright, the next tip. You want to make your chords sound good, sound clear. So when you're playing chords, you're learning the 4 chords or any chord, you want to make the chord position. You want to press down with not too much pressure, but just enough pressure to make the chord sound clear. And you want it to sound clear, and the best way to do that is learn 1 chord, make it sound really good, and maybe let's say the G and the C. Start with those 2, okay? Make them sound really good individually where you can strum down, they sound clear, and then start putting them together using downstrokes. Okay? So, you want to learn your chords and make them sound good. This is a really important tip. If you don't have a guitar stand, be sure and buy you a little guitar stand. And the reason I say that is because if you have your guitar in a case or underneath a bed in the case or in a closet, in other words, out of sight, out of mind, like the old saying goes, you're going to be a lot less wanting to go look for the guitar and practice. With it out on the guitar stand in the room you spend the most time in, it's sitting there. Sit there watching TV, maybe, or have it there in your living room next to your favorite chair or whatever. Or if you spend more time in the bedroom, whatever the case might be, whatever room you spend the most time in, get that guitar, put it up on the guitar stand. Very important, because when it's out, it's going to make you want to pick it up a lot more often. So be sure to get your guitar stand. Okay, the next tip, keep it simple. Keep it simple. You just want to have 4 chords to start with, okay? And the 4 chords, like I say, you can find those 4 chords out at my website, bestbeginnerguitarlessons.com. But keep it simple. Don't try to learn hundreds and hundreds of chords. You don't need all those chords. You need a handful of chords to play thousands of songs. Just a handful of chords. So if you want to learn guitar and learn quick and be able to play hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of songs eventually, keep it simple. Don't go out and try to learn 20, 30, 40, 50 chords to begin with, or scales or both. Open chords. Remember, you want to play open chords. Okay. The next step, call yourself a guitarist. So many people started to learn to play guitar. When you first start, you don't consider yourself a guitarist, but you are. And that's a big mental thing. So consider yourself a guitarist. When you start learning to play, and you start learning a chord or two, you are a guitarist. So keep that in mind. You are a guitarist. Don't be afraid to use that term when you're speaking to somebody about guitar. Call yourself a guitarist, okay? Always ask questions, and this is another big one. If you have any kind of problems with learning how to play, you know, your chords are sounding bad, you're not able to change from one to the other smooth and even or fast enough, don't be afraid to ask questions. Leave your comments down below. With any kind of problems you're having learning how to play guitar, leave your comments down below. I'll personally answer them, try to help you with anything you're having trouble with in learning how to play guitar. So don't be afraid to ask questions, because that's the way you're going to solve those problems without having to fumble around trying to figure it out on your own. So I'll always be able to ask questions when you're having trouble. Gear doesn't make you a better guitar player. That's a yes and a no. When you first start out, most people have an inexpensive guitar, and on an inexpensive guitar, many of them are set up. They're hard to play. Some of them won't stay in tune. So if you have a little bit better grade guitar, you can really get a nice guitar for about $100 or $150. Something will stay in tune, be easy to play, etc. So a better guitar, to a certain extent, will make you a better guitar player. And you'll certainly find it much easier to play if you go up in quality just a little bit. Next time, I challenge you, next time you go into a guitar store, pick up one of the $1,000, $1,500 guitars. So you've been playing on yours, pick up one of those expensive ones, and you're going to see it's going to be easier to play, sound better. So I'm not talking about spending $1,000 though, about $150 or so, you can get you a good quality guitar. So keep that in mind. Make your guitar playable. Like I just mentioned, if you have a fairly inexpensive guitar, a lot of the time the strings are high, away from the neck, and that makes it almost impossible to press them down and get them to sound clear as far as your chords. Take it to a guitar shop that has a qualified luthier. That's a guitar repair van, certified. And tell them you want to set up, and they'll adjust the string height, make sure everything's in line, check everything, and when they get through with it, the action's going to be closer and much easier to play. So if you have an inexpensive guitar and it's never been set up, take it to a guitar store, to a guitar repairman. Tell them you want to set up. It's going to be worth the money spent. Trust me, it will be. Let's see. Practice. And I get this question asked every day. What is the length of time I should practice every day? And a lot of the people, when I come back with my answer, which is 10 minutes per day, they say, what, 10 minutes per day? 10 minutes per day. You want, again, going back to earlier, I talked about keep it simple, applies here too. 10 minutes a day. That's okay if you feel like you want to sit down 15 minutes. Just don't over practice, because when you're first starting out, when you press the strings down, your fingers are going to get sore if you overplay, and you're going to get frustrated because you're probably struggling to make the chords and that sort of thing. Don't give up. Don't give up. But keep it simple. 10 minutes per day. That's what you want to practice. I advise no more than that, but it's okay if you want to sit down and play a little longer than that. Another great tip, buy you a guitar strap. Now you're going to be saying, well, why do I need a guitar strap? I have it sitting on my lap. That's true. But you may want to stand up and play, because when you stand up and play, it's a totally different experience with the guitar. Okay? And another real reason, I had a lady several years ago that just bought her a real nice guitar, and she was just a beginner taking lessons. And she called me up on the telephone one day, and she was really, really upset. And she had told me her guitar slid off her lap on the floor and busted a big hole in it. And if you had a strap on it, that guitar would have never hit the floor. So to me, that's what it really serves for, as a safety net. If you're playing, slide off your lap on the floor and bust a hole in it. So get your strap. And you'll enjoy also using a strap to stand up with a strap, let your guitar hang down and play. You'll get used to it that way too. Totally different experience sitting down or standing up. And I think you'll really benefit by a strap. This is a good one. Practice in the dark. You say, what? Practice in the dark. What you want to do is get to where develop muscle memory, and when you can go, you say you want to play a G, just go right to the G, okay? Or just reach up there and you right on it. Right to the C, right on it. Right to the D, right on it. That's developing muscle memory, you call it. Now, you don't necessarily have to literally practice in the dark. You can if you like. You sure can. But what you want to do is get to where you're not looking at this hand. And you want to get to where you can just reach up there and grab a G. Reach up there, grab a C. Reach up there, grab a D. So when you get to that point, you've got that muscle memory developed, and you can just get up there and grab any card you want to play. So, like I said, I call it play in the dark, but it's not. You don't have to literally do that. Okay. One other tip I want to give you: when you start out, get your little electronic tuner, because you want to have a guitar that's well tuned, in tune, to where when you practice learning your chords, you don't want a guitar that's out of tune, because first of all, it's going to sound terrible. Second, you'll be able to hear the proper sound. When you play C chord, it's going to sound like a C chord. If it's out of tune, it just won't sound proper. It's super important. And don't try to learn tune by ear. You can do that later, down the road. If you get your electronic tuner, which a lot of, even the pros use them now. You don't see them tuning by ear much anymore. And you can get a little clip-on tuner that goes up here on the headstock. And I use a little Start SN1. And there's a link down below of the items that I use. And again, you can go to Amazon or music store and get what they call electronic digital tuner. And they're fantastic. They're fantastic. I hope these tips have helped you. I wish I had someone had sat down and talked to me about these tips when I first started, because they really do and should help you really kind of kickstart your guitar playing. And if you have any questions on anything, leave it down in the comments. I really like to thank all the people who have been subscribing to my YouTube channel. I hope you're enjoying the lessons. I get a lot of comments from all of you and thanking me for the lessons. And I want to teach everyone who wants to learn how to play guitar be able to play. That's my goal. Don't forget also to like and share the video. This helps share, makes YouTube share my channel with others, and they can get benefit from it too by you like and sharing it. And by all means, subscribe. Hit the red button below, subscribe, and then click on the red bell, which is acknowledgement and notification, I should say. And then you'll receive a notification each time I put up a new video, song, tutorial, whatever it might be. And I try to do that once a week. So be sure to subscribe, share, like, Any comments, any questions you have, leave them down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, leave your comment down in the comment box below. Till next time, let's go have some fun playing guitar. Have a good day.